Hi there, and welcome to Resilience, BRIDGEGOOD's design and fundraising celebration. My name is Jasmine Mora, and it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the first day of this 3-day program, recognizing the BRIDGEGOOD community, its hallmark programs, and the life-changing experiences of its students it serves. 2020 has been an extraordinarily challenging year. Global pandemic, a weakened economy, intensified climate crisis, and social unrest in response to ongoing social injustice. So this is where resilience comes in. As a 501c3 community-based organization, BRIDGEGOOD continues to show up and deliver on its mission to prepare job seekers, predominantly Black, Indigenous, and women of color, in the digital design field by inspiring first-generation college students ages 18 and up to become creators in user experience, user interface, and visual design. And ultimately, they become leaders in their communities. As crises continue to mount, BRIDGEGOOD continues to work to empower and bring equity to our next generation of creators, which is more important than ever. This year, BRIDGEGOOD's digital preparedness and agility made it possible to keep elevating and centering student voices. As an East Bay native, I'm always proud to call Oakland home, and even more so when I see INSPIRE Oakland billboards and bus stops around town. I'm inspired by the art and storytelling about Oakland, of course, but I'm equally inspired by the individuals who've created the pieces and their connections to their communities. Having been able to spend time in the BRIDGEGOOD studio and witness their impact on the next generation of creators, I'm thrilled to see a program like today's happening to ensure that during this historical moment, BRIDGEGOOD can have the resources to keep positively impacting lives. For the past 11 years, Oakland Digital, now BRIDGEGOOD, has asked local students, artists, and artivists to make original designs that answer the question, what about Oakland inspires you? To date, over 2,400 community college and state-level students have participated for the chance to have their designs featured on INSPIRE Oakland billboards, bus ads, benches, and digital LEDs throughout the greater East Bay. Students are asked to use their creativity, vision of diversity, and spirit of innovation when conceiving their artwork. The ultimate goal of this arts program is to provide students with real-world experience while jump-starting their professional design career. In addition to professional exposure, student participants receive work opportunities, career-related resources, and discover tools needed to secure 21st century employment. The forthcoming BRIDGEGOOD Design Rotational Program is something we are piloting and spearheading in 2021. Shout out to sponsor Kaiser Permanente for making this possible. To date, BRIDGEGOOD has showcased over 70 artists and original imagery ranging from Oakland First Fridays to Black Lives Matter to women of color empowerment. Students' designs visually reflect the diversity, history, and resiliency of our community while inspiring civic pride, engagement, and innovation. 100% of the designs are created by community members and local artists. As such, BRIDGEGOOD is used as a platform to allow creatives to voice their opinions, realities, hopes, and dreams through design. This is design for social good. INSPIRE Oakland takes money to keep going. Annually, BRIDGEGOOD spends between $50,000 to $75,000 for community spaces to showcase student talent. That doesn't include the required staffing and essential resources. In 10 years, BRIDGEGOOD has invested over $600,000 in promoting student voices through INSPIRE Oakland. In total, over 80 million eyes have experienced student designs on billboards and transit media. Your support today will make a difference. With your donation via Venmo @BRIDGEGOOD, Cash App $BRIDGEGOOD, and bridgegood.org/donate, you're providing students with vital support and space they need to thrive. The fundraising goal is $100,000 for resilience to empower the lives of over 800 students in 2021. Here's a look at how BRIDGEGOOD really works.
This is BRIDGEGOOD's 11th annual design challenge. What that means is we featured over 70 artists and designers. They are using their creativity, their vision of diversity, and their spirit of innovation to really think about awesome designs that can go all over Oakland and the East Bay to inspire community. A question that we get quite often is like, how many students get to be a part of this opportunity? This year, 800 plus, 75 students actually submitted designs that were correct to specifications. So from those 75, we then have 20 that advanced to today. So these 20 students today followed the directions, went above and beyond, came out to open labs, got extensive feedback. That's why today is so special.
Hi guys, my name is Alize Fletcher Carrillo. So one of the people that I saw popping up a lot when I was researching Oakland was Angela Davis. I have a quote kind of where I got my inspiration from. We have to talk about liberating minds as well as liberating society. And to me, that inspired me because for me, in order to have change in community and to grow, we need to liberate minds, free minds, be open to different ideas in order for us to have a more free society.
Hello guys, my name is Ana Gonzalez. What inspires me about Oakland is generally the children and what they're capable of doing and to grow up and who they become. So my main thing was future leaders. I wanted them to look at the billboard and like be able to see themselves there the same way they see leaders that they look up to. I wanted them to know that their voices are very important and they could start now as children, already helping their communities and just really becoming the people they look up to, because the children are the future.
Hi, my name is Jian. Oakland is so diverse with cultural background from various ethnicity in the community, and people with different backgrounds like small business owners, aspiring artists, and musicians. It's the place where everyone participates in the festival to help each other and make human connection. To me, it's the sense of community that people love about Oakland. For this, I put design points on the shape of the heart using human hands to show the connection between people and how different ethnicity come together to create community.
I just want to say one thing. I don't know why it took me over 40 years to figure this out, but to give a talk like that in a second language is amazing. Like that's not your native language. That's amazing.
My name is Koka Yamamoto. I've lived in the East Bay for 10 years now, and I worked in Oakland for 5 years, but I still did my due diligence. I researched into the history of Oakland, the culture. I looked into BRIDGEGOOD as an organization and their goals. And together I realized like the main things that spoke to me were the creativity, community, and the resilience of Oaklanders. So I wanted to focus my design on Oakland First Fridays. So you can see a couple photos on the top right. And there I saw an amazing young musician called Drummer Boy Aaron. Unfortunately, when I was young, I was turned away from art because it wasn't like lucrative enough or whatever. And it's only in like adulthood I'm coming back to it. So he was really inspiring. The spirit of Oakland is a spirit of creativity and resilience. It has such a rich musical history and a history of overcoming adversity. I hope that young creatives of color can look at this, see themselves in it, and feel inspired to keep creating.
Hello everyone, I am Mark Villayo. Activism is deeply rooted in Oakland's history, from the 1946 Oakland General Strike to groups such as the Black Panther Party, the Intertribal Friendship House, Oakland Community Organizations, and more. These committees, groups, and movements continuously demanded for justice, equality, and basic necessities such as housing and employment. And this is solidarity, not silence. It is my piece of support. It is my support for the Black community, the fight against injustice and racism. I want to express that as long as we stand by each other, as long as there is light, there is hope, and we will overcome any problems in our community. I added the LGBTQ flag and the trans pride flags pinned to some of the shirts to express representation and that these communities need our support as well.
That was beautiful. I see me in that. I see my community in that, and that message is just so important and it has to be said. So thank you for saying that the way you said it. Thank you.
So hello, my name is Simone Cooley. I used to work with children for about 5 years as a senior recreational leader. for a before and after school program for kids. And at the moment of making this, I was still working with the children. And as you guys know now, those kids are in school. I can't work with the kids. And when it comes to finishing this, like I had to for the kids that I work with, and this just was very touching for me. When I thought of the kids, I thought of them thinking of the memories, the experience that they can have in Oakland, and what's the best way for a child to express or to even show the memories of Oakland, or what they could have seen or what they enjoyed. And I just thought, thinking of it in a bubble, really. I just want to show a big diversity of kids that are involved. And as Anna has said, children are the future.
My name is Yav, and the first picture that I actually saw when I just did generic Google search about Oakland, because I didn't know that much about Oakland. The middle picture with the brown berets and the Black Panther. And it carried a lot of emotion for me. And when I saw it, it was just like, boom. I did a map of Oakland and Lake Merritt as the background. And I got a suggestion from Sean to make it look more like the posters that the Black Panther used to put out in the streets, which was a really dope idea.
You are talented. Like, it's not fair how talented you are. That was beautiful. It was just like the idea of like imposing it on the map of Oakland was just so brilliant. That was beautiful.
I would like to thank BRIDGEGOOD for reaching out to students like me who aren't given a lot of opportunities and giving us the chance to show our creative side.
For giving new and young designers like myself the opportunity to share our work.
And thank you so much for your 100% honesty, more than anything.
All your support, your heart, and dedication to this community of underserved students.
BRIDGEGOOD, thank you so much, because honestly, I had so much doubt of my skills, and people would say, how could you? But we are our worst critics, and honestly, when given this opportunity to be here today, and Judy, when you spoke some inspirating words to me when we had our last Zoom meeting conference, you know what I'm talking about. You have no idea how much you just knocked the doubt of all my life when that happened. So thank you.
Simone, I'm so glad that you overcame those doubts, because you are such an incredible artist and such a great storyteller, and I'm tearing up as we speak, so great job.
Simone, as a Black woman who's working in this industry, like I just want to tell you there's going to be a lot more doubt that's going to come your way, but you are excellent. Your work is excellent. You have so much strength, so I just wanted to say that to you.
+1 on the perseverance and the grit, and just sharing some of those emotions you went through, feeling like an imposter. But check it out. Look at where you are. Look at your platform. Look at the shine. Look who you're with. And understand you made it.
Hi, I'm Catherine Aker, Vice President of Marketing, Communications, and Community for Your Oakland Athletics, and a proud Inspiration Awards honoree alum. Welcome to Resilience, BRIDGEGOOD's annual inaugural design and fundraising celebration, bringing tech leaders and community together to pave the way for inclusive design and diversity in technology. BRIDGEGOOD's work is critically important. They're unleashing creativity in our young people. And to me, resilience means being able to take on any challenge head on, working through those obstacles and coming out on the other side. Thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the event, and go A's.
Let's kick things over for our first fundraising breakout. Over the next 3 days, BRIDGEGOOD is aiming to raise $100,000 to support programs like INSPIRE Oakland. You can be a part of the story by donating via Venmo, @BRIDGEGOOD, Cash App, $BRIDGEGOOD, or at bridgegood.org/donate. Every donation matters. Join in.
Go ahead. What up, Sean? So what did you think about what we just saw, man? Were you inspired?
That was it's crazy. I mean, it's hard to put into words, you know, the feelings that are going through. Seeing that in the first place way back when was that? In July when we had the competition, and reliving and seeing all the great designs that came out, and seeing them in the community on top of that is, it's hard to put into words.
No doubt, Sean. And Jasmine, I want to say thank you very much for that amazing intro. And I have to give a shout out to my brother his voice was in there. Rest in peace, Wilson Ty. I love you, brother. I want to shout out some of the donors. Kumi with $5, Daniel with 20, Harper's from the Hood. Everyone should be, come on, show some love. Another $20 from Mark. Another $20 from Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy Lou. $25 from Julia Gatchett. And we're just getting these donations coming in. So bridgegood.org/donate. Keep those donations coming. You can see on the screen Venmo at BridgeGood, Cash App, BridgeGood. Everyone, let's give a round of applause for anyone donating. Thank you.
One of the many reasons why I support BridgeGood and bring my network, friends, family, colleagues to understand what BridgeGood's work is because of INSPIRE Oakland. Up next, this video showcasing BridgeGood's impact.
Resilience to me means the ability to recover, to grow, and to continue moving forward after facing hardship.
To me, resilience means rolling with the punches, but also turning those punches into learnings. It's cultivating the mindset that failure doesn't exist when you're always learning from your past mistakes.
I believe that resilience is overcoming any and all obstacles just to achieve your goal.
Resilience to me means knowing how to cope in spite of setbacks, not only standing strong, but knowing how to pick yourself up if you ever fall.
To me, resilience means to adapt ourselves in difficult situations, challenge ourselves, and so we can strengthen our abilities at the same time.
Resilience is helping one another and uplifting one another so that together we can make a difference in our communities.
Hey, what's up everyone? Nishant here. Just wanted to talk about my INSPIRE Oakland experience a couple years back and how pivotal it was for my artistic career. It was so amazing seeing my own artwork on a 60-foot billboard in my hometown. This was a dream come true, and it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for BridgeGood. Not only was this a huge resume piece and a nice wow factor for employers, but this provided me the confidence to grow to where I am today and keep pushing my artwork and have a solo exhibition in New York and do these things that are milestones in my career. I would like to thank BridgeGood for that first milestone in my career and making that a reality.
I had the opportunity to participate in the apprenticeship program back in 2016 when BridgeGood was still Oakland Digital. And during that time, I learned more about UX UI design and worked with all the other interns on designing the BridgeGood website. I believe this is a great apprenticeship program because not only does it help students learn more about the technical sides of design and how to prepare for future careers, but it also shows them how they can use design to help their communities and make an impact.
Hi everyone, my name is Christy Hu. In 2019, I participated in the INSPIRE Oakland program and I was selected as one of the top 18 design finalists. During this experience, I got to practice my design skills and meet other talented individuals. I believe INSPIRE Oakland helped me grow my research skill, learned how to listen to feedback and improve my design, and also to pitch my design to the audience.
I was a BridgeGood apprentice in the summer of 2018, and during that time, I got the opportunity to improve the BridgeGood platform while getting career support from designers already in the tech industry. I believe the apprenticeship program helped me gain confidence in my leadership skills, especially in public speaking, teaching, and facilitation. It was also the first time I got to work directly with engineers when we built features for the site, and getting that experience was crucial for my development as a designer. But not only that, it also created a safe space for me to grow, just knowing that BridgeGood always had my back and always helped create opportunities.
The first thing I want to mention is just mentorship. I definitely found Sean to be an exceptional mentor. The second benefit I got from BridgeGood has to do with connection with people in the industry, working with people that are in the industry already or people that are students like I was, there are huge gaps for students that are coming out of education and trying to enter into the workforce. And these jobs are not easy to get, and there's so much barrier to entry. These opportunities, these nonprofit organizations that step in and fill that gap are crucial to the community.
My name is Marcus Creel. I'm an East Bay native, a Latino, and at this point a proud BRIDGEGOOD graduate. I believe that the apprenticeship program helps with delivering a real-world experience in a fun, adaptive, and professional manner that promotes not only skills but confidence as a designer.
Hello, my name is Christine Espina, and I am a BRIDGEGOOD creative. BRIDGEGOOD has launched my creative journey in my professional career. BRIDGEGOOD has so many stepping stones, whether it's building my graphic design portfolio, networking with other professionals, designing a billboard for INSPIRE Oakland, or going to VIP sites such as Google or Twitter and gaining insight and knowledge from other top designers on what it's like to work there. With all of these stepping stones through BRIDGEGOOD, it has built my confidence in being successful as a graphic designer.
I want to give a shout out to Sean Tai and the BRIDGEGOOD team and all of you who work so hard to support BRIDGEGOOD. At Cal State East Bay, we have worked hard to continue to provide access to a high quality education and graduation to very diverse and deserving students. We are one of the most ethnically diverse public universities in the country. About 60% of our students are first-generation college students, and about 75% of them receive financial aid, and over 80% of them work while doing their studies. They are hardworking, tenacious, humble, appreciative, and resilient. Our students inspire and energize me to work hard to provide them with a great education. This is much like the work that BRIDGEGOOD does to provide opportunities for students to go into meaningful tech careers. The BRIDGEGOOD students are resilient warriors. They have overcome many obstacles and are finding their way to learn and grow in ways that they had not dreamed of. All thanks to the great work of the BRIDGEGOOD team. The work that you do inspires me and makes me and motivates me to do all that I can to support your efforts. Thank you, Sean, and everyone working at BRIDGEGOOD. You rock! My best wishes to you in all that you do for everyone in the community in the years to come. Thank you.
Live from our sister city in Sacramento, California, really excited to have the Philharmonic here today. He's one of Executive Director Sean Tai's favorite artists, so give him lots of light and love from wherever you find yourself online.
Resilience. It means never giving up, even when life gets really hard. Resilience is the ability to get up even when you fall down, even when you're hurt. Resilience is being you.
Come out from the valley of the shadow of death. Take this in, I promise that you'll never run out of breath. Live your life, cause sometimes I know it's hard to respect. It's when we hurt, that's the moment that we all wanna flex. I confess that as humans can be really complex. We have our egos and we wanna call it art and elect. We show emotion and we think they're gonna think of us less. But you blessed, you should never ever think that you less. Cause in the end, we always our biggest enemies. But it's always against each other that we compete. 9 times out of 10, that's how it tends to be. Though this observation can be really hard to see. But if there's one thing that I hope you never fail to notice, is that our music's still beautiful though the record's broken. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we had to become, and that's love. If I told you I see colors too, that's how bright from the light that's inside of you. Maybe then I hope you recognize that true beauty always comes from inside. Don't you know I get to look at God every time I look into your eyes? Then I'm sure you recognize that your beauty comes from within. Yo, if I told you about the beauty that I saw from within, would you for once let me shower you with some compliments or observations more or less so I can help you forget for a second from the demons that you fight in your head? But what was said to make you look upon yourself with regret, cause of the torment of the words that make you think that you less. If I can, let me give you something else to reflect, so you'll never have to guess that if you worth it again. So let me take your pain that you're afraid to display and get them shackles off your feet, so maybe then we can dance. Cause you're like my Mona Lisa that Da Vinci would pay. When I sprang forward, you fell back, and that's when the seasons change. But even then, I could never look upon you with hate. Even though we had to break, I know we'll both be okay. So don't you ever think that for us it's way too late. At the end of the day, we grow better when we separate. But with everything that I'm hoping that you'll find, that if it's yours, you should never have to fight. Cause you deserve all the air, colors, and light. So let those be the only words up in your mind. And if there's one thing that I hope you never fail to notice, is that our music's still beautiful though the record's broken. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we have to become, and that's love. If I told you I see colors too, that's some breath in the life that's inside of you. Maybe then I hope you recognize the true beauty always comes from inside. Don't you know I get to look at God every time I look into your eyes? Then I'm sure you'll recognize that your beauty comes from within. If I could go back to the moments that I felt that nostalgia as a kid before the pains of life began to befall me, to the moments that I cherish in my heart that are guarded, to keep me on my path even at points of the hardest. As time will pass, I grew older and lovers would come and go. I relied on other people to fill the void in my soul, to be a high amongst my lows. That's when I lost my hope, cause at the point that they would leave, I ended up hurting more. Though at the time, my life really began to get messy, but that's the moment that I got to learn a valuable lesson. The worst thing that I'm feeling when I'm feeling most empty is that I cannot tell the difference between love and acceptance. That's the reason why then people get addicted to drugs, to escape the plane of life so we live fast and die young, to avoid our problems we can never seem to run from. How can time heal any wounds if we can't get to confront? That's why in life, we gotta be our own leaders, cause we as hurting people always hurt other people. It's not because we evil or even cause we need to, it's cause we broken and you needed me just like I need you. So if there's one thing that I hope you never fail to notice, is that our music's still beautiful though the record's broken. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we have to become, and that's love. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we have to become. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we have to become. Cause all I want in life is unconditional love, so what I want is what I'm gonna become. Cause all I want in life is unconditional love, so what I want is what I'm gonna become, and that's love.
Resilience is being you.
Your life is the language of the unheard.
feel the temperature rising while the children lack guidance. They're inflating the prices in such a hostile climate. The power we want ain't the power we preach. The power we seek ain't the power of greed, or the power we need. True power fulfills, true power forgives. You find that the power within is the power that lives. Money grows on trees when evil takes root in the ground below, turning hearts to stone where the seed never grows. What's reapers on the soul, minds corrupt with hatred, armor trapped in the matrix where there's lacking patrons. Loads of fishes without a savior. We need more doctors and less patience, cause it's power and hope, it's power and soul, it's power and growth. True power evokes, that's the power I know. True power fulfills, true power forgives. You find that the power within is the power that lives. Hey, I know what you've been looking for, something that can fill the void. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Hey, do you feel like you're all alone? Many have been down this road before. In the past, you won't be the first and you won't be the last. As the hour approaches, the serpent encroaches upon the gardens with dollar bills and exquisite contracts, destroying the earth, the gross-out markets, moderate profits, increasing their profit. Babylon has become so ungodly, empty in stomachs to fill their pockets. Even the Romans couldn't see Rome falling, cause the power they seek is the power of greed. It ain't the power that feeds, or the power that leads, or the power we need. True power is love, true power is trust, true power is enough, true power is in touch with all of us. Hey, I know what you've been looking for, something that can fill the void. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Hey, do you feel like you're all alone? Many have been down this road before. I know what you've been looking for, something that can fill the void. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Hey, do you feel like you're all alone? Many have been down this road before.
Resilience.
1, 2, 3, get it! Live another day. How can I do that working on the minimum wage? And when the people at the top take a whole everything to devour, is it too much to ask if I can get $15 an hour? If it is, then fuck you, baby. I ain't doing any more work until you give me what I deserve. But first things first, motherfucker, you baby. Till you pay me what I'm worth. I ain't doing any more work until you give me what I deserve. And no one man should ever have all that power. Well, most of us at the bottom only got empty dreams and $1. Cause I'll be damned if I once again use my hands away for the man who got all the supply, but he always fails to meet our demands. Cause I don't wanna struggle no more with some bills that I can't afford. I pay a tax for some dumbass walk when there's nothing to be filed for. I got enough shit to deal with at home, I can't have to keep my enemies close. So you better not get up your hopes, cause right now I'ma let you know, motherfucker you, baby. I ain't doing any more work until you give me me what I deserve. But first things first, motherfuck you, pay me, motherfucker. Until you pay me what I'm worth, I ain't doing any more work until you give me what I deserve. I ain't doing any more labor, so don't you ask me for any more favors. I ain't doing any more work till you give me my paper. Give it up, cause I ain't gonna wait until later. Motherfuck you, baby. I ain't doing any more work, so you give me what I deserve. But first things first, motherfuck you, baby. So you pay me what I'm worth, I ain't doing any more work, so you give me what I deserve. Fuck you, baby. Cause fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, better pay up, pay up, pay up, pay up, nigga.
I want to take this moment to thank BRIDGEGOOD for having me do this video, and I hope that it brings enjoyment into your mission to bring equality, equity, and a better world for generations to come. I also want to dedicate this video specifically to Wilson Ty.
We're going to hop back into the fundraising breakout one more time to see how we're doing. You can give right now, again, via Venmo at BRIDGEGOOD, Cash App $BRIDGEGOOD, or at bridgegood.org/donate. Every donation helps. Thank you so much.
Loaded. That was a deep one, right, Jasmine?
Wow. Oh my gosh. All the vibes, dancing in my chair with the noisemaker. But gonna pass the mic to Laurel Committee.
I must say, the second I heard the Philharmonic, I immediately went to Spotify and tried to see if he was there. So for all of you out there watching, he is in fact on Spotify. So go download his tunes. I know I added them to my Design Flow playlist. So when I'm doing some screens later today, you know what I'll be listening to. I also just wanted to give a quick shout out. It was awesome to see all of the great graduates from BRIDGEGOOD's programs give their reflections on resilience and what this means. And I think all of us, no matter where you come from or what you're doing, we have all been resilient this year. We've all experienced that. And as designers, that's something that really can fuel our creativity. And so it's great to hear what that word and what that feeling means to all of those graduates. But I challenge kind of all of you to think about what it means to you today and figure out how you can bring that into your own work, creative or otherwise. So with that, I believe, Sean, do you have some news?
Exciting news, Laurel. And Yudi messaged me and like, this performance is too short because everyone's raving about it. And during that performance, we had tons of donations. $100 from Cynthia Saya, thank you, BRIDGEGOOD Creative. John Soares, $50. Omar Sanada, $30. Simone Pratt, $100. $25 from Roseworks, shout out to Roseworks. $50 from Lisa Tolles. $1,000 from Stephanie Ty. $1,000 from Stephanie Ty, my brother's partner. And then she also did another $100. Shout out to Philharmonics. We love y'all. Thank you, Stephanie, and everyone that donated. Let's keep this going because we're not done. We are not done. Let's keep it going.
All students that participate in INSPIRE Oakland are invited to further explore and deepen their relationship into tech via BRIDGEGOOD's UX Design Apprenticeship. Up next, this video showcasing BRIDGEGOOD's impact.
When I saw the YouTube videos on BRIDGEGOOD, I saw that it was a really great experience, and I knew I wanted to hop in, and I thought that You know, I saw everyone crying in the videos, and I knew that like this is where I want to be. I want to have that experience too.
Hi, my name is Raymond Timoteo.
My name is Diego Munoz.
My name is Marybeth Soriano.
My name is Brian Bowman.
My name is Koke Yamamoto.
My name is Sarah Solomon, and I'm a proud
BRIDGEGOOD UX
Design
Apprentice.
So I'm a proud first-generation born Mexican American. Been living in South San Francisco all of my life. Growing up, I grew up with a Spanish-speaking family, so I first learned Spanish and then learned English. As I kept growing, you know, I feel like I was refining my skills more and more as an illustrator, which I guess would eventually lead me into graphic design as a whole.
I'm originally Sudanese. I was born and raised here in California. I lived in Saudi Arabia for a couple of years, but my parents recently moved back to LA. So I actually did the whole apprenticeship from LA. I wasn't actually here in the Bay Area.
I was born and raised in Oakland. My parents come from the Philippines, and they immigrated here in the 90s.
I'm a first-generation Japanese American and first-generation college student. And I have like a biology degree, but I'm starting fresh in design.
I love to design, honestly. I love art. Ever since I was a little kid, I was drawing like since forever. I mean, I suck at drawing now, but like that was my passion, and that's kind of what started everything.
Diversity and inclusion was one of the main strengths about BRIDGEGOOD and this apprenticeship. We had people from all different backgrounds, all different like ethnicities, cultural backgrounds, economic backgrounds, and I think that's I would say one of the main strengths of BRIDGEGOOD.
They're located in Oakland in the Bay Area, where they're surrounded by people of color, people of different cultures, and so it's really important to embody that into our community because that's what Oakland is all about.
BRIDGEGOOD's focus on like diversity and inclusion is really important, especially since the design field doesn't really focus on that specifically. BRIDGEGOOD caters to like and helps minority groups, and I know from experience like in my classes that's not the case. Like they don't look at minority struggles and they don't really try to elevate their voices in a way, but BRIDGEGOOD does do that, and it was amazing to see that.
So as a Latino in tech, I find it important to be able to include more diversity into that world of tech and to be able to also sort of tell my stories as well as other Latino, Latinx stories.
INSPIRE Oakland is a billboard competition that's open to students from around Northern California, and it's all about what about Oakland inspires you. So bringing your own like unique voice and perspective into what is inspiring about Oakland.
For my INSPIRE Oakland design, I decided to focus more on the music of Oakland, specifically got down into the music artists since I thought it would be great to be able to focus on these music artists that are Bay Area natives. So I titled it Oakland Sound, as I felt these different artists come sort of in a way make up this unique sound from Oakland.
My experience with INSPIRE Oakland competition was a huge growth opportunity. Initially when I entered, I knew that it was open to people from all over Northern California. I definitely had no ideas of winning, but I thought this is a great opportunity to get like real life experience because you have to put it to the right dimensions, to the right color mode. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna challenge myself and do this, and went through the whole creative process of sketching and iterating until you get to the final design.
Oh gosh, the first weeks of BRIDGEGOOD, they were overwhelming. Like I was excited at the same time really nervous, and I was like, oh my God, there's so many other amazing designers, and people would come in and like show their work during critique, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, this is amazing. So I think it was nerve-wracking, and at the same time it sort of pushed me to do more and to work more, because I was just like, okay, I sort of need to be on that level too.
I applied for the UX Design Apprenticeship because I thought it was an excellent way to be able to expand my design skills. I've never even touched UX design before this. I honestly didn't really know exactly what it was, so I researched it a bit. I thought, well, it would be great to be able to just expand my design skills.
such a welcoming, warm presence, and everyone was so excited. It's definitely like different than anything I've ever experienced because everyone was just so excited and there was such good energy.
If I were to explain it to my mom just like straight up, I would say BRIDGEGOOD is helping me with my career.
Design is important because I've come to realize that it's a part of everything we do. Like my main way of thinking about design is that it's essentially problem solving, and the reason I eventually wanted to become a designer is because there wasn't any aspect of my life that I wasn't applying design already.
UX is user experience. It's the way that you navigate throughout either a website, an app, maybe even through a menu. And it's just a structure that leads you to where you need to be.
I want to continue helping people like my parents, people who have where English is their second language, navigate through websites a lot more easier. And I want to make sure that something like that happens in the future.
I want to design something that's meaningful, not something that is trendy, also usable and accessible to a lot of people. And it helped me realize what kind of design I want to do and what kind of design I don't want to do.
I feel like I definitely have a clear idea of like how to be, how to follow like the double diamond method and how to be really divergent and really not let yourself be boxed in at first. But then also how to like, as a team, come to these decisions, figure out your problem, and then eventually figure out your solution. I think I'm really grateful for BRIDGEGOOD for giving me that entire process multiple times throughout the apprenticeship. It wasn't just like once, but I feel like I've gotten good exposure to how to think like a designer, how to follow that process.
So we got a lot of mentorship from different companies throughout the apprenticeship, from Salesforce, Slack, Etsy, Square, we had US Bank, we had DeepScribe, and even people from Adobe. So it was really great to be able to get mentorship from these people that actually work at these companies.
One of my favorite companies that I learned a lot from was Beyond. They came in early on in the apprenticeship to give us mentorship and guidance.
Yeah, the company I liked working with the best was Salesforce, just because they put in so much effort and so much time into teaching us. And then it was just a really great experience overall, just because of all the things they've introduced to us and how much I learned from them.
What I'm going to miss about the BRIDGEGOOD experience is everything. I feel like this was such a one-of-a-kind experience that I'll never get to have again, and it's so different from anything else.
I'm honestly gonna miss hearing you guys' voices, just because like when I hear your guys' voices, it's like, oh, it's go time, we're gonna do this.
It was really great to be able to just like know these other people that are in the same shoes as me, more or less. I'm gonna miss just sharing these moments with all the other apprentices.
Main things that I'm gonna miss is you guys, like Yuri, Sean, everyone in the apprenticeship. I'm gonna miss that sense of community. I'm gonna miss the critique and everything, the feedback I get.
I think like 5 years down the line, looking back, I'm just gonna look back with such fondness. I'm gonna miss so much about this apprenticeship. It was such a community. I just remember the first time interviewing with Yudi and saying, what does community mean to you? And I just feel like BRIDGEGOOD, like at the end I can answer it now, because BRIDGEGOOD is the shining example of a community and what it should be like.
We're extremely excited for this year's 2020 Resilience Community Honoree, Oree Original, who exemplifies students' voices when designing for social good. Take a look at this conversation between Oree and Executive Director Sean Tai, but first, let's take a look at his impact.
Justice for Our Lives project is a series of portraits of people who have been killed by police. I feel that it's my responsibility as an artist to make these names popular so that people never forget their stories. I started this project in 2014 after the annual visual for Oscar Grant at the Fruitvale BART station. I came home heavily inspired to produce a portrait of his and put it out on social media. Ultimately, I had a project that now has lasted for 3 years. I'm a self-taught artist and originally from Los Angeles. I remember when I moved out here, there was a lot of protests that were happening out here in Oakland. That's something that I didn't really see in LA at the time. It heavily influenced me to do artwork related to the communities and social justice. Whenever possible, I try to contact the families of the victims prior to working on a design. It's a very emotional circumstance for them to be going through. There's reasoning behind the simplicity of my images and the black and white palette. I offer these images as templates. When people around the country took note of that, I then started seeing them in New York and San Antonio, Arizona, Chicago. I also saw people use them in Paris, France.
Part of this project is me going out to the streets and doing wheat pasting, bringing out the art out to the streets, right? Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining my presentation / wheat pasting demo. You're invited to choose one of these posters and then do your own wheat pasting onto these boards that you can then take home. Choose someone whose case you're aware of, or maybe someone that you're not aware of. Research it so you can learn more about that case.
This is not necessarily a project that I enjoy. The amount of portraits that I've created so far is just a mere fraction of the total number of people that are killed by police every year. It's nothing compared to how much of a crisis this issue really is. I consider my project to just be a contribution to end police killing unarmed people and getting away with it.
Yo, how's it going, Oree?
Going good, going good.
Man, congratulations on being named community leader for the first ever BRIDGEGOOD Resilience event.
I really appreciate the acknowledgement.
We met at Laney College. What was it about BRIDGEGOOD that made you even want to be involved?
The INSPIRE Oakland project was an option that we had for it to be our final assignment. But I remember you visiting, and I remember you telling us about BRIDGEGOOD. What I really liked about it was the fact that it was a bridge between communities of color, lower income folks, and the tech world. I wanted to open myself up to see what was available on that side. I was glad that I participated and that I also got a bench ad up. So I thought that was really cool.
So you're being honored on day one of Resilience, which is all about student voices through design for social good. When you think about design for social good, what does that mean to you?
Design in general is used to facilitate a process that can make something easier to understand, can allow a user or a participant to be able to engage in something. The use of design for social good, the way in which I've been approaching it has been through a culture, and of course art being a big part of culture. The way that I organize my projects and the way that I apply it to a social movement or to the community is a way that I use my design for social good.
You grew up in Los Angeles, right? And I read that you were really heavily influenced by graffiti.
I grew up in the hood, in the area that I grew up in, especially the 90s, was an era in Los Angeles where gang activity was a lot more pronounced. I wasn't the type to get involved in gang activity, but I definitely wanted to get involved in the art aspect of that because my friends were doing that as well. And some of them were involved in gangs, some of them were doing it as just graffiti artists, as, you know, part of the culture, you know, of hip hop. Because also I was a fan of hip hop as well. When you grow up in the hood, you usually are assigned a nickname by your friends, you know, and for me, it ended up being Oree. The Spanish word for ears is orejas, and I had bigger ears when I was a kid. So long story short, orejas evolved into Oree, and then I added the last name of Original up until I moved out to the Bay, where I decided that I was going to approach my career as more of a visual artist. So I expanded into painting, into graphic design, etc.
Yeah, what about the Bay is different than LA?
That's what really drew me in when I first visited the Bay, was just seeing how people were more friendly, how people valued art more for the people. So that really drew me in. Back at that time where I was doing graffiti, I didn't really have much of a community or like an art community that I could appeal to that would allow me to grow, create space for myself, like actual physical space that I could produce art in and be able to network and be able to exhibit. And then also just the culture of activism out here with art.
The collaboration in the Bay is so radical. About the INSPIRE Oakland project, we've been doing this since 2009, Oree, and the first time that we got complaints via Twitter, tweets from people, was when we had Jack De Jesus, who's also an activist and rapper and dope designer, did the Black Lives Matter billboard with the women in lockboxes. And that was the first time that we got hate from social media. That was in 2015, and this juxtaposes with your journey, because in 2014 is when you started Justice for Our Lives. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so that was a response to the killing of Trayvon Martin, but it was also inspired heavily by Black Lives Matter. But I remember at that time, towards the end of 2013, I mostly just knew it as a hashtag on Twitter. I picked up from the conversations that I would see on there. What encouraged me to then finally create artwork that related to Black Lives Matter was when I came home from the annual vigil for Oscar Grant that happens at the Fruitvale BART station every year. And I was just inspired to honor his name and create a quick portrait of his in black and white, and then just put it out in the world. I got a good response, so it encouraged me to just keep on going. And then before I knew it, I had a portrait series that I was working with. I started seeing people in New York that was using my portrait, so they were picking it off of my Facebook account.
At that time, it was just right-click, save to desktop.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow,
Right-click, save on desktop.
Yeah.
Little by little, it developed into like this serious project that I was pushing forward, and it's been 7 years now.
Man. Before my brother died, who just passed away last month, we sat down. I never knew how much Black Lives Matter to him. He had tears in his eyes, and he's like, Sean, think about Black Lives Matter. Think about that phrase. We have to convince people that Black Lives Matter. That should not have to even happen. And I had never known that my brother was so passionate about the movement. And that's why he was such a big fan of yours.
I do want to say that I'm sorry about hearing about your brother, and it was a pleasure to have met him on a couple of occasions. So I'm really sorry about that. I wouldn't say that I made a movement out of it, but I'm definitely playing a small role by offering my art as a visual aid for people to be able to express themselves around these issues. Understanding that there's a lot of people that play their own role, you being on the graphic design tech end, and others, you have the organizers, you have the teachers, So you have a lot of people who are involved sustaining this movement for sure.
What does Justice for Our Lives mean to you, and what do you hope it means for others?
A reflection of the state of the world that we live in right now, where Black lives are devalued. I wanted to be able to offer this piece of work to the world so that we could have a better understanding of where we're at due to where we've been, so that we could do the work to affect where it is that we're going, but also see it as a tool that will allow for us to be able to shape what our outcome ends up being. There's a lot of work ahead of us. I do believe that art has a major role, and design, in how we come up with solutions for that.
And I also think the next generation as well, it was really smart to have it open source, meaning they can go to your website, download art, print it out, share it on social media. I love the juxtaposition of print and digital, but I do think it's that next generation, Oree, that we're both inspiring. So how do people get involved, get their students involved, get their friends and colleagues involved?
JusticeForOurLives.com, and I have the portraits available in 2 sizes, which is 8.5 by 11, so that anyone can participate, but then also the official size, which is 18 by 24, which is like a standard poster size, or they could just email me at oreeoriginal@gmail.com. There's no A's in my name, just O's, Oree Original, NOL.
And you still got the BRIDGEGOOD portfolio, bridgegood.com/Oree.
Exactly. BRIDGEGOOD, yeah, exactly. So you could also go there as well. I actually need to update that. So thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna have to go back on there and update it for sure.
And one last message for the young people watching this right now that may not know what to do with their creative career. And they're thinking about, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? But they want to stay in art.
I would definitely be honest and say that it's not an easy path to pursue. There's going to be hurdles on your journey, and I would say that they should not be discouraged when coming across them. It's definitely an uphill battle. That means that when you get those wins, that they mean a lot more. They definitely feel a lot better. So I would say to not have any fear in your pursuit, and be open to ask questions, be open to connecting with other people, because as an individual, we don't have all the answers. I actually thought that I did when I first started, until I started to open myself up to other people. And then I realized, like, whoa, like I could definitely get much further in my career if I open up to people, as opposed to thinking that I could do it all on my own.
Oree Original, appreciate you. Congratulations. The Resilience 2020 community leader. Thank you. Peace and love.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi, Sean. Hi, Yudi. Hi, BRIDGEGOOD. All of us, we love working with you. Sean, I'm thinking of you because I'm out on my little bike ride. I know you're a biker. And I'm just recording this message to say good luck in the resilience. You know that Twitter has your back. We loved being recognized with the Inspiration Award last year. We love supporting you guys each year as an amazing community partner. We love that you were inspired at Twitter and were born at Twitter, like many, many amazing ideas, BRIDGEGOOD being one of the best. And we just want to say good luck. Thank you for including us in Resilience. Thank you for including us in all of your amazing work. And I look forward to a long ride with BRIDGEGOOD into the future. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Judy. Thanks, everybody.
So what are you waiting for? You can be a part of the journey by giving right now via Venmo at BRIDGEGOOD, Cash App, $BRIDGEGOOD, and bridgegood.org/donate. Every contribution matters. Thank you so much.
Here we go.
Wow. What an inspiring conversation. Thank you to our community lead, Oree Original, Sean, Yudi, the BRIDGEGOOD Squad for putting this together. If you're inspired, make that donation. Share the news with your friends, your colleagues, your family. This is amazing community work. And come back tomorrow for part 2. Sean?
Same time tomorrow. Jasmine, thank you for being the host. You did an amazing job. I have a few closing things for the 40, 50 people watching right now. I want to shout out Robert Gabriel, who donated 25. Amu donated 25. Harpus from the Hood, 25. Mateo, 35. Jason Simpson, 50. Xavier Sabaha, another $50. And then I also wanted to say thank you, Yudi, for keeping me on schedule. Even though we are working extremely hard, we want to end on time. I want to thank Normtronics, aka Chris, for the beats as well as for running the tech side. I want to thank all of the Resilience Committee members. And I have one more ask, Aisha, on the social media as well. One ask, I will put up $500 today if someone here will match me. Is anyone here brave enough to match me for $500?
I got you, Sean.
All right, Dominique. Kevin, I thought you were gonna.
Oh,
will you match $500?
I totally am. I'm right
Okay.
up Dominique.
All right, Dominique, Kevin, Sean, $500 each to end it. Thank y'all. See you tomorrow, 12 p.m. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook @BridgeGood.